Great, so let's jump right in. At the top of our agenda, we have basic viewing options, signatures, stationery and fonts, new email messages, automatic replies, deleted items, creating folders, moving mail, calendars, contacts, searching, some productivity tips, and how to find Outlook online. Let's jump over to our Outlook window. So everybody should see my Outlook application here. This is the standard view when you open up Outlook. It'll bring you to your inbox. To kick things off, I want to show you a few foundational areas in the application that I'm going to be covering material in. So just kind of laying that foundation of what I mean by quick access, folder pane, reading pane. Let's do that now. I'm going to turn my spotlight on. And let's start at the very top of the screen. This is where you'll find quick access toolbar. This area up here, this is new in Outlook 2016, your quick access tools. And to add or remove quick access hotkeys, you simply go down to what's called your ribbon, which is the next fundamental area here. The ribbon's really common in older versions of Outlook as well. Just to highlight it really quick, quick access keys have their respective place down here. To add items to that quick access, you simply right-click an item and add to quick access toolbar. I'll cover that a bit down the road. Going back to those fundamental areas, recapping our quick access toolbar, the ribbon, and your ribbon tabs. For the most part, we're going to stay in home. To your left here, we have the folder pane. I'll be working out of the folder pane quite a bit. And to the right of the folder pane, you have your reading pane. This area right here where you're actually flipping through inbox and your reading area as well. Go back to my spotlight. So the reading pane, the folder pane. Now if you go to the far right side of the application, you have your to-do list pane. There's some really great productivity tools here on the to-do list pane. Let's go down to the bottom left side of the screen. Hovering over the navigation options, I have a few icons, one being mail, calendar, contacts, and lastly, tasks. There's a couple different ways you can view your navigation bar. I'll go through that as well. Below your navigation bar is your status bar. Status bar shows you some really important information, how much free space, how many total items, how many unread messages. And if you follow me to the right side of your screen on that same status bar, it tells me my folder is currently up to date. It's not doing any syncing right now. And I'm currently connected to Microsoft Exchange. I'm connected to my email server. I will be able to send and receive emails. Nothing you have to do there to change or set that. It's just there by default. Those are the basic viewing areas. Once again, our quick access toolbar at the very top, just below that, our ribbon tabs will be in home for the majority of this. To the left side of your screen is the folder pane. The middle section is your reading pane. The far right is your to-do list pane. The bottom left is your navigation options. And lastly, at the very bottom, your status bar. So let's go through some basic viewing options. In order to get to that, we will go up to our ribbon and the ribbon tab named View. Simply select View and scroll to the right side right here with these three options called Layout. First is the folder pane. Again, that correlates directly with this area right here. That's your folder pane. Right now it's automatically checked in normal. I like to work out of normal. You can minimize that where it'll contract. And there goes our contracted folder pane. You can see now I only have three options: my inbox, my sent items, or drafts. And that also adjusted the orientation of my navigation options, which were once horizontal going this way. They're now in that same minimized area. Let's go back up to our ribbon under View. Once again, our ribbon over here, folder pane, select that. We can go from normal to minimize to completely off. And now I'm only displaying inbox and my reading pane. Let's turn it back to normal for the sake of training here. I will be over here in the folder pane area quite a bit, creating folders and moving items. So just want to leave it there for now. Next, we're going to go into adjusting your viewing options in the reading pane. And you might want to do this just based on how you want to consume email, customize it, and how it works with your workflow. It's completely customizable, and any changes you make, you can always unmake those changes. So again, we're in the View tab in our ribbon. Slide over to Reading Pane, select that once. It's currently selected in right. I'll show you what selecting that in the bottom looks like. So now my inbox is on the top and my reading pane is shown in the bottom. It's kind of condensed version, both of your inbox, so I can only see 4 emails at a time, and I can only read a section of the body of the email. Let's go back up to View and our reading pane. I can turn my reading pane completely off. Important to know, when your reading pane is off, you don't have that preview window for that email. So what happens, you have to double click an email you want to open, and it actually opens up in a new window. It might be nice if you have multiple screens and now you can drag this over to your other screen. But for the most part, I avoid this viewing option because I don't like several windows open when I'm responding and working out of email. So let's go back up to, and for those who just joined, we're going through some basic viewing options. In order to get there, we go up to our Ribbons tab, go to the tab that says View, slide over to your layout options, these 3 options right here, and let's go back to the default, which is reading pane on the right. And that gives me my inbox. I have a lot of scroll there. It's really nice. And then I get an email preview. I can respond, reply all, reply, or forward right there. Pretty straightforward. The last of the basic viewing options I want to cover is correlating with your to-do list pane. Once again, that to-do list pane is found on the far right side of your screen, this area right here. I have my calendar, contacts, and tasks in my to-do list pane. Just a quick tip here, it's really convenient to have this activated because, as you can see, I have my calendar. I can move to another date, and while I'm responding to an email over here, I can quickly see what my schedule looks like on Tuesday, November 14th, for example. I have some internal meetings, discovery meetings, and additional stuff come Wednesday. So it's a really quick and convenient way to just increase productivity with some simple viewing options. To turn that off, I go back up to my View tab in the ribbons, move over to Layout, To-Do bar, and everything is turned on right now. Let's turn this off. And that calendar, everything just collapsed right there. It expanded my reading pane and removed my to-do bar. Let's turn it back on, and I can turn on calendar only. And now it's only my calendar. I have a longer scroll there with only my calendar activated. I can activate my contacts. And moving over here once again, quickly search contacts, which is quite nice to have that right there. Next, I want to show you a feature that is signatures, stationery, and fonts. For signatures, stationery, and fonts, it's found under the File tab. For File, we are going to want to go to the top left side of your screen. It's under the same area as your Ribbons tab, that first option right there, File. So let's go ahead and select File. This brings me to a drop-down menu and some account information. It's generally good to get familiar with this area of Outlook. To change signatures and my fonts, I'm going to go down to Options. And again, I got here by the top left side of the screen under File, scroll down to Options. This area, there's a lot of good information. Feel free to enter this space and just get comfortable. I'm going to go down to Mail, and under Compose Messages, there are Create or Modify Signatures for Messages, and Use Stationery to change default fonts and styles, colors, and backgrounds. Outlook is really intuitive the way they set this up. So when I go into this box right here to change my signature, they know that I'm likely going to be making some edits and maybe setting up my signature for the first time, but also setting up my fonts. So I'll show you what that looks like right now by selecting Signatures. And as I was saying, the intuitive part of this is you see this pop-up window with two tabs. Here's my email signature tab and then my personal stationery tab. So it's really just one option area, which is nice. Right now I have highlighted the signature called Account Manager. WizKids, we standardize our signatures. It's really nice. It's on brand. The only time you guys would be in here is maybe if you're setting up your signature for the first time, or maybe a title change, for example. Just for the sake of testing, I made a couple other accounts here. To delete, you would select the one you want to delete. Let's delete the test and delete that. You get a pop-up message. Are you sure you want to delete the selected signature? Yes. And it's as simple as that. To edit an existing signature, select that signature and go down to the body area of the signature. You can highlight, you can bold, italicize, underline, change the style, size, and save, selecting OK. You can also save up here. Create new, this icon, create new, and name it, test, select enter, and once again, create your content here in the body of the email, of the signature, and select OK. We will select OK and move from there. Let's go down to stationery and fonts. Again, your stationery and fonts is located under your mail options in Outlook options. And we got there by going up to File and then scrolling down to Options, and this pop-up window opened. So let's go down to stationery and fonts. New mail messages, replying or forwarding messages, and composing in plain text messages, you'll have options to customize all of these. Maybe your organization has standards on the way they want to set up and responding to messages. In the case that you do have some flexibility and can kind of customize, this is where you would do it. Simply open up a new mail message, change your font color, font, style, size. It's important to note at size for a new mail message, generally you want to stay within 10, 11, or 12 point font. It's pretty standard across Outlook. And do remember that even though if you select 18 point font, it's easier to read for you, do remember that your recipients receive their mail from you in 18 point font. So let's go back to that standard between 10, 11, and 12 point font and select OK. Replying messages, it's the same thing. A dialog box opens up and you have your options. I'm going to cancel out of this and cancel out of Outlook options. For setting up a new email, I'm not going to cover too much in a new email. It's pretty straightforward. There are a few things that are new in 2016, and I just want to show you where to locate those. So for a new mail message, we want to go up to our ribbons tab called Home. once again, our ribbon bar at the top of the screen, and select the Home tab. At the very left, the first icon here is New Email. You can also do a quick key command by pressing Control and the letter N on your keyboard. As I'm hovering over this with my mouse, that little info box opened up, New Item, Control N, tells you the shortcut right there, which is really convenient. I'm going to select that. And here's my new mail message. In 2016, this ribbon bar follows you as well. So we're going to have a lot of advanced options in a new mail message. Similarly, the ribbons tab, insert options, format text, all the correlating options there. You can see that it's grayed out, and those options are going to be grayed out until I get to the body of the email. So right now I'm in the To area, and let's write an email to Michael. Type in the contact I want to send. I have my CC option, my blind carbon copy option, and a subject. Let's enter subject line is Outlook training, and then go down to my body of the email. And there's my options. They just opened up. I can change the font and all of that. Of course, I have the standard font that I selected in my Outlook options. So we'll get that text color, font, and font size. One thing I want to show you guys is under the Inserts ribbon tab. Well, actually, let's hold off on that. Let's attach a message, attach a file. So it's really convenient here in 2016 under the Message tab, which is mostly where you're going to be working in a new email. Just scroll on over to Attach File. There's a real neat icon. Simply select that. And it actually has a number of suggestions based on recently used documents, recently saved documents. I have some Chrome extensions, some Word documents, a PowerPoint, PDFs. Say I want to meet over latest on-site discovery. I would simply select that, and it automatically inserts it right there. So now when I send that message, we're going to have some common ground and make the most of our time. If you accidentally selected the wrong attachment, simply hit this drop down and go to Remove Attachment. You can also send it to your printer, save that document as, or open it. Let's remove that. And head back up to your ribbons bar in your new email and the Options tab. 2016 tucked away the blind carbon copy and the From options here. So this is where you're going to want to find that if you're doing a BCC. I select that, and you see that that blind carbon copy area went away. If I remove this, my From went away. And there it is, on and off. From is sending from whichever email account you have tied to this Outlook. I only have adrian@wizkidit.com tied to my Outlook. As will your organization, you're going to have that one email address. So not too much to do there with the From button. It's important to note, however. And this is where you're going to find the blind carbon copy. All right, let's exit out of a new mail message I don't want to save. Next, I'm going to cover automatic replies. Automatic replies are really neat, especially in 2016. They added a feature where you can set up an automatic reply ahead of time. So, for example, I'm going on vacation from December 7th to the 28th, and I'm in the office now. I want to set that up when I'm in the office and setting my calendar. So I can go in there, set my vacation dates, or maybe I'm out of the office, have a leave of absence, a vacation, or at a conference, and I'm going to be unavailable. I can do that ahead of time, and let me show you how. We're going to go back up to our File tab. Once again, that's in the top of your screen under File. Select File, and that is done on the right side here under Account Information we see the options automatic replies, parentheses out of office. Select that icon and you get an automatic reply dialog box pop up. Right now it's in do not send automatic replies. I'm currently not on vacation, so it's not engaged. Let's select send automatic replies and only send during this time range. So this is where you would set ahead of time a vacation, your start time, your end time, and the time you actually want this message, this automatic reply to kick in. Right below this, you can note that I have two options. I have inside my organization automatic replies and outside of my organization automatic replies. The reason you have two options here, perhaps people at my company that email me, maybe I'm going to give them my cell phone number for urgent issues. So I can have a generic automatic reply message saying I'm on vacation from the 7th to the 28th for matters that are urgent, please reach me at my cell number. For people outside your organization, perhaps you want to direct those people for urgent matters to another colleague. In that case, you'd craft a different out of office reply. And to save, simply hit OK. I'm going to select cancel. And to get back to your mail screen, we're going to go to this back arrow here. And we're back in mail. I'll do that again. File, top left, tab, and to get back arrow. So just to recap, we covered our automatic out of office replies under File tab, your account information, and automatic replies. Let's go back to mail. And I'll show you how to delete items and next create folders. So I just got here in the meantime a couple documents from some vendors and a newsletter. They're not incredibly important. I might be managing my email and deleting some items. So to delete items, you simply highlight the ones that you want to delete. You can highlight multiple by selecting one and holding your shift key on your keyboard and going down to your selection. Let's go down to that selection. I selected 3. And there's 2 ways to delete. You can select the delete key on your keyboard, which will delete those, send them to the deleted folder. You can also right click and scroll down to delete. See, I just deleted those. I'm cleaning up my inbox, and I accidentally delete a message from Julie, which was really important. Now, I'm going to want to recover that email because I'm just flipping through here really quickly and deleting things. Oh, shucks, I deleted Julie's email. I need to reply to her. Where did that email go? That would be found in your folder pane, once again, on the far left side of the window under deleted items. Let's go to our deleted items inbox, and here is my recently deleted items. To recover a deleted item, simply select the one you want to recover, right click, and go down to the option move, and I'm going to move that back to my inbox. You can also move items by dragging and dropping them into the respective folder. However, be warned, sometimes you can fall into the wrong folder and emails can get lost in the ether of Outlook. So it's really best practice to either make that single selection or group selection, right click with your mouse, and here you have a drop down options bar, and select move. Move to the folder you want. Move these back to my inbox. All right, let's go back to inbox. And we just covered deleted items, recovering deleted items, and moving mail. Let's add folders. Adding folders is a real helpful tip and in email management. It's a good practice, and it also helps you streamline your workflow. So to do that, let's go to inbox and say I want to create a folder containing messages that I get from vendors. For example, I simply right click my inbox and create new folder under the drop down menu. Say I want a new folder under my archive. I would select archive and right click that, and I create new folder. So you can actually create new folders in any one of these categories. Those would be called subfolders, and you can actually get quite in depth there. I'm just scratching the surface in this demonstration. So let's go ahead and create a new folder called archive test and hit enter. So now we have this new folder called archive test. Select archive test, and it's empty. It's brand new. There's no mail in it yet. Let's move some mail into that just to show you how it looks. Go back to my inbox, and let's do some newsletters. I'm gonna select shift on my keyboard and select. I just selected a group. Right click, scroll down to move, and there's my new folder right there, archive test. And there they go. You can see I can really maintain a really neat inbox with those simple help tips. Next thing I want to get into is your calendar. In order to get to your calendar, we're going to go back to one of those foundational areas that I covered in the beginning of the video called your navigation options. Your navigation options are located at the bottom left side of your screen, this area right here. You have mail, calendar, contacts, tasks, and additional features. Let's go into, well, actually, let's hover over your calendar. And here you get a nice little calendar preview. So you can look at the current date, current today's items, jump over to the 14th, jump over dates, and see a quick view. To open your entire calendar, simply select that icon in the navigation bar, and it opens up your calendar window. You can see I have a pretty busy calendar, appointments back to back here. Let's create a new appointment. For that, let's go up to the ribbons tab. Again, your ribbons are at the top of the screen right here. And just like a new email, your new appointment is the first option under the home tab. Again, your tabs in the respected options. For the most part, your workday is going to be focused under the home tab. And select new appointment. You can also do a hotkey, Control N on your keyboard to create a new appointment. I'm going to cover two types of appointments. One is going to be personal, and then the other is going to be a calendar invitation. So you can see with this new appointment window, I have the ribbons options, my ribbon tabs. Let's stay in the appointment tab and create a subject. So this is going to be pick up items for office party, and the location of which is going to be Whole Foods. And I have my start time, my end time, and the actual time I'm going to run this errand. You can see that automatically jump to a half an hour interval. You can change that. You can get in here and actually type in a specific time, and then go down to the body of that new appointment and enter your list for items to pick up. Now to save this, you simply hit this in your ribbons bar, go up to your ribbons, save and close. And there's that new item, Friday, November 10th, pick up items for office party. It's neat because you can see a quick at a glance description of what I'm doing and where that is set. If you select into that, double click it, you see the full details. Now, if I want to make this a calendar appointment, I would go up to my ribbons bar and under invite attendees, select invite attendees. Now I have a 2 message bar, and I would add the attendees I want to come. Kara and Steph are helping out, and I select send. And that would send a calendar invitation for today at 1 p.m. Upon their acceptance, declining, or tentative, I will receive a notification that they RSVP'd. What's really neat, and I'm not going to get into too much detail, but I'll show you how to insert an attachment in this item. So go up to your ribbons under Insert tab, and the first option is Attach File. Say I want to attach a recipe list, and let's just do this PDF, for example. So now I have a recipe list that we can follow as we're picking up items for the office party. And that document, that PDF attachment, will go out with this invitation as well. If you're setting up an internal meeting, maybe at a department meeting, that might be an agenda. So everybody has the agenda prior to the meeting, and really make the most of the time. Send that message, and it will send to those parties. I am going to go back to meeting and cancel invitation and actually exit out of this and not save. Now, many organizations like to share calendars, at least a few colleagues. Maybe they work closely together and schedule appointments together. Maybe it's a receptionist booking time for associates. I will show you how to share those calendars. For that, let's go back to our ribbons bar and the Home tab. And it's really nice, easy to remember location in our ribbons. Scroll over to Share Calendar. Enter Share Calendar, and just like a new message, we have a toolbar, and I'm going to share my calendar with Stephanie. Hit Enter. So here is my subject, sharing invitation, Adrian Thomas's calendar. What's really neat is I can actually request permission to view Stephanie's calendar by checking this box. And now when I send this, I'm not only sharing my calendar, but I'm asking her to share mine, and she'll approve it. And now I'll have access to her calendar. Just below this is availability. So it shows what details and permissions Stephanie will have to my calendar. Availability only means you're only going to see blocks of time where I am set in an appointment. You're not going to get this pickup items for office party or the location details. Let me highlight that. You're not going to see these details in available only. So it's limited in that sense. You can change her permissions, however, by dropping down here, limited details. Now this will tell you the subject and location of that calendar item. Full details, they'll actually be able to open calendar items, view the full details, add and remove calendar items on my calendar. I can also enter, "Hi Steph, let's share calendars." A little message there. And in your ribbons bar, you can attach documents as well. I'm not going to save and exit out of there. Moving right along our navigation bar, once again, that navigation bar is at the bottom left of your screen. Mail, calendar, contacts, and tasks. Let's go into contacts. So select the people icon, and here we are in contacts. I'm not going to cover too much here. It's fairly straightforward. There are a couple of viewing options in your ribbon. Select business card. You can see them as business card. You can see them as a phone book or another detailed list. You might want to be in this viewing angle for filtering purpose, perhaps by country, by department, or email specifically. And it's a bit more condensed view. So you can see I can actually view a lot more contacts than in the people view. To add a new contact, you're going to go up to your Home tab and your ribbons. And just like an email and just like a new calendar appointment, it's the first option here. New contact, and enter your information. If you have a business card, for example, this is a great way to track those and enter data from a business card. I will show you another way to add contacts if you already have an email going with them. So let's close out of this and move back to our inbox. To move back to your inbox, we're going to go back down to our navigations window, select mail, and we're back in our inbox. So I'm going to go to Tanya, an email from Tanya, and maybe I want to add Tanya to contacts. So I would go to her email signature up here, right there, Tanya Jensen, tjensen@teleris.com, and right click this, and I get a drop down menu where I can then add Tanya to Outlook contacts. She's already an Outlook contact, so I'm not going to add her at this moment. I can also open her card. But that way, doing it this way, you're going to have a lot of pre-filled information when you do add them as a contact, so you're not starting from scratch. It's pretty nice. All right, let's go into the next agenda on our item, which is searching. Being in the mail window right now, there's two ways to get your search bar. You can see on the top of our inbox here is the search bar. If you're currently in an email, you can also do a control key. So on your keyboard, select Control E, Control and the letter E. And just as you saw, that dropped my cursor right there, Control E, and now my cursor's in the search bar. And I can search maybe email from Julie. You can see it's formulating results, and there are my results. Important to note, I typed in what I want to search and where I want to search. So if you're expecting a lot more information from Julie and you're not seeing it, it might be because you're only searching your current mailbox. This is a drop-down menu, and you can get specific. So maybe I want to search a specific folder that I'm currently in, subfolders, current mailbox entirely, or all Outlook items. Let's go to all Outlook items, and a lot more results there. These are calendar appointments and more emails. So just remember, in that search window, if you're not finding something that you know is there or having trouble searching, just remember where you're searching and be specific. While we're under search, I'm going to show you one more thing. It's the advanced find tool. So go up to your ribbon once, and you can see we're in the search tab. Go over to search tools and another drop-down menu, advanced find. This gives you a myriad of choices and really honing in on what you're looking for. Look in any type of Outlook item, appointments and meetings, contacts, messages, tasks, perhaps where I am in regard to the email. Maybe I'm the only person in the to line. Maybe I'm on the CC line with other people. So you can get very specific and granular in your search. Let's exit out of that. Next, I want to get through a couple productivity tips and get you on your way, really. With productivity tips, I'm going to cover one item that I touched on in the beginning of this, which is your quick access toolbar. And once again, your quick access toolbar is this right here at the top of the screen. Again, new in 2016 and really handy. I'll show you how to add and remove items to that. It's basically like icon favorites, if you will. So commonly used features, or maybe you change your view depending on what inbox you're looking at. That's the real purpose for these. So right now I have a couple options already loaded. Let's add a new option there. So go to your Home tab in the ribbons and say I want a new email to add to my quick access toolbar. I go to that icon, right click that icon, and add to quick access toolbar. There you go. And that icon just jumped right there. So what's neat now, when I'm in calendar, contacts, or tasks, or mail for that matter, if I go up to that quick access, I just added a new item. So really easily I can select new item, and I'm making a new message. To remove that quick access, I go up to the icon I want to remove, right click, and remove from quick access toolbar. That's the quick access toolbar. You can customize it. You can leave it alone altogether, just depending on how you want to work and really what helps you in the day. Cover a couple key commands. I just want to touch on these. I mentioned hovering over items. It'll tell you that quick reply. So that drop down, that just shows you the key command. So if you press Control on your keyboard and the letter R, you're going to quickly reply to this message that I'm currently under. Key commands are handy to learn and just a quicker way to move through your Outlook. If you hover over new item is Control and the letter N on your keyboard. And let's do that, Control N. And I'm now drafting a new email. Really nice. Next quick tip is turning on and off alerts. For that, follow my mouse as we go down to the bottom right side of your screen to this area right here. This show hidden icon is actually on your taskbar. It's a little triangle. You're going to want to click that and go to your Outlook icon. Hovering over the icon will tell you the name. It says Microsoft Outlook. Right click your Microsoft Outlook and you get a drop down menu. So what I'm showing you now is how to turn on and off email alerts. As I've been working through this demonstration, you've seen a number of emails come in and it's quite distracting. You know, when you're working on an Excel document or a Word document or a report and you have a firm deadline, the last thing you want to do is get sidetracked by a bunch of incoming emails that are actually not even that important. So this is really the feature that you can turn on and off those alerts. It does have a purpose. You know, it's nice to be in another application sometimes and get those alerts and check your inbox. However, this is the opportunity where you're meeting with a client. For example, you're meeting with a patient, maybe another colleague, and you want full dedication to that colleague. Or for the example I gave earlier, you're pushing up against a deadline and you want zero distractions. So let's go back down to where that was located, right down here under your system tray icon, this triangle. Go to your Outlook icon, right click, and deselect Show New Mail Desktop Alert. And now I will get no more interruptions. We can turn that back on by simply going back down to that triangle, hover over Microsoft Outlook icon, right click, and Show New Mail Desktop Alerts. And now I will get alerts once again. The last thing I'm going to show you is how to find Outlook online. Now, why you might want to find Outlook online, say for example, you're working outside of the office and you don't have access to your Outlook application. And once again, this Outlook software application resides on my workstation. So maybe you have a laptop at home and you want to get in there, or maybe you're on vacation and you need to reply to some emails. I'll show you where to find the place that you find that. So let's go up to the top left side of our screen under File tab, select File, and under your Account Information window, go down to, it's actually the first option here under Account Settings, and this item here, this hyperlink, access this account on the web. Simply select that. This is the web address of where your mail is going to reside. So when I select this hyperlink, it's actually going to open in a internet browser. You guys might use Chrome, Firefox. I use Chrome, so when I select this link, it's going to open up in a Chrome tab. And here it is. I have multiple screens, so it actually opened in another screen. And let me sign out. So that's what it's going to look like when you select this button. You select this link. It's going to open up in my web browser, Outlook web app. And I can access the Outlook web app from anywhere in the world that I have internet. So I just type in my password, and select sign in. Your password is actually the same password that you use to enter your workstation first thing in the morning. So what's really nice about Outlook 365 that we're migrating your organization to is that it syncs with all of your Office applications. So you're not managing an email password and managing a workstation password. They're all one and the same. As well, when it comes time for security policies, you actually have to change your password. When you change your workstation password, it changes your Outlook password as well. So it's all one and the same, really handy. And just close this for the moment. Once again, we're in the File Options tab. To get back to my mail, I hit this back arrow, and we're back in our mailbox. So I just showed you where to access that online webmail. Let's do that one more time in recap. Go up to the top left side of your screen, File, select File. Under Account Information, here's your web address. Simply select that hyperlink, and boom, we're there. It opens automatically. Now, the first time you do this, you're going to want to bookmark this page. Because I don't know about you, but it's sometimes hard to remember the URL, the web address, mail.wizkidit.com/OA. So I like to hit star and bookmark this page. Add as bookmarks on the bookmark bar. Done. And there you see it, Outlook web app. First time you do this, you might want to write it down as well if you're logging into mail on another device. And that's how you access that. Get back to our mail, back arrow, and there you are. So I hope this was really beneficial for you guys and covered some of those basic tips. Again, important to note, Outlook 2016, there's nothing drastically different or scary. So it's really a streamlined way that you can Outlook 2016 has streamlined a number of their interface and the way things look. So any questions, please enter them in the chat window. And thank you for your time. Hope everyone has a great afternoon. Thanks for joining, and take care. Have a great weekend, guys.